Man, I really do despise live service video games, with a burning passion, that is. If you're unaware of what a live service video game is, let me just break it down to you real quick before I get into why I genuinely do not like live service video games. So, a live service video game is essentially a video game that receives continuous updates past its initial release, with things such as microtransactions, planned updates, patches, season passes, your games such as Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, things of that nature. Games that are constantly online. This doesn't seem terrible, right? I mean, the game gets continuous updates and it's always being maintained by the team, by the developers, by the publishers, right? Well, it's good in practice, but played out in real life, you'll understand why I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. I kinda want to start off with my biggest point here, and it gives developers all the excuses in the world to release half-baked and half-made games and just update them as time goes on. I'm a customer that's paying $70 for a video game. I expect the game to be working at launch. I expect the game to be plentiful with things to do at launch. Like I said, $70 I'm paying for this video game. With live service games, however, you pay for this game on launch, and most of the time you're going to be let down. Why? Because the game isn't even complete, and it's in more of a beta stage than it actually is a full release stage. The biggest example of games releasing half-baked or in a beta-like stage upon release, them being live service that is Fallout 76. That is my holy grail example of live service games that are not holding up to the price they want you to pay. Fallout 76 released in a horrible state, almost unplayable if you ask me, very barren, bone dry, just not a good game overall, and they still expected you to pay full price for it and even release some special editions that cost more money. Now, why Fallout 76 strikes a chord with me so much is because the Fallout series is my favorite video game series of all time. I love Fallout and everything Fallout related. I mean, Fallout 3 truthfully was one of the first video games I actually dumped real time into and spent a lot of time playing and progressing. It was amazing. And then we're given Fallout 76, the title that I despise. My favorite franchise turned live service. My favorite series turned live service. This ignited my hatred for live service video games, if I'll be honest. Now, the game did get better over time, but it still left a big nasty stain because of its release. So, without further ado, let's jump into the next reason. My next point being microtransactions, and my god, have microtransactions gotten horrible, and I mean bad. You buy the $70 video game, and guess what? There's still more things for you to buy. You don't get the full experience because there's paywalls. That's just live service video games for you. All these currencies that you can buy in these live service games, like your V-Bucks and your COD points and your MyFaction coins or whatever, it's insane. It's crazy. They make it to where you have no choice but to buy this currency, because if you want to grind for it, you are going to spend a very long time grinding. You are going to be on that game a terrible amount of time. And that's part of one of my other points. But they will make sure that you play that game for hours and hours on end, unless you want to throw them some money. Unless you want to bribe them with a couple dollars, and it's all cool. And to add to this, consider battle passes as part of these microtransactions. Battle passes give players a sense of FOMO, a fear of missing out if you don't know. And why I believe this is, when you buy a battle pass, you have X amount of time to grind it out. Why do they do this? So you play the game as much as humanly possible, so you get your $10 to $15 worth. So, jumping off my whole rant about battle passes is these live service games truthfully feel like a chore at a certain point. I mean, are you playing the game because you like it, or because you bought that battle pass and now you feel some sense of obligation to grind out this battle pass so you don't lose your money and so you can show off your cool new items to people who couldn't obtain it? Think about it. I mean, I was stuck in this loop too. I played a lot of Call of Duty during COVID, and I wanted to grind these battle passes. And after a certain point, I was like, what am I playing this game for? I've played it so much that it's not fun to me anymore. But I bought this battle pass, so I have to grind it. Now, I don't think there's any harm in giving people rewards for playing the game. However, when you're constantly rubbing it in people's faces who don't want to spend extra money on a game they paid full price for, it's kind of bogus. It's very predatory to me. And that's why people will play this game like it's a chore rather than just a form of entertainment. A lot of these live service games are not entertainment for people no more. They are like a lifestyle. You have to grind out for the items. You have to grind out for the currency you can get through the battle pass. Like, it becomes extremely strange with some of these cases. And leading into my next point, dude, these games are on servers. In your profile could get deleted at any time. And my favorite example of this is The Crew. The Crew is such an infamous example of a live service game that literally just got taken down, everything gone. The most recent example, there's been previous examples in the past, but this is the most recent and current example of a live service game where you had an account on it, you spent a lot of money on it, well, there goes all your stuff. Now, granted, The Crew is old. I don't know how many people were playing The Crew and The Crew 2 came out. Still, however, you lost everything you had on that game. You don't get any money back. You spent money and lost it. You basically threw your money into a pit. On that same topic, this leads me into my whole rant that I give on a weekly basis to everyone about a lack of ownership. You do not own these titles. You do not own anything you got in this game. Like I said, it's all on the server. You own none of it. So I hope you're happy with just renting it because, hell, even Warzone could be gone. Even Warzone could go away eventually and you would have nothing to show for it. It's kind of scary because there is no local save. It's all on a server, all on a cloud. You can't obtain this stuff unless you have an internet connection. So, if you're grinding hard for it, these are very unfortunate cases that can happen to you if you decide to dump a ton of money into these games. And for my last and final point here, you guys gotta understand that these developers are looking for engagement over quality. What do I mean by that? They aren't looking to give you a quality video game. They are trying to give you a game that you're going to engage with for an infinite amount of time. That's why battle passes exist. They want you to stay in this game as long as you can so you continue to push the cycle so everyone else continues to play the game so they can keep shoving more microtransactions into your face so they can keep generating revenue. Everything about live service games is about generating revenue. And you might say, well, when you release a video game, don't you want to make money off it? Of course you want to make money off it, but it comes down to a sense of ethics and how you're making money off the game. Are you making money off the game because it's a true masterpiece or it's just like an actual fun game to play? Or are you making money off the game because there's a battle pass? To me, from a moral standpoint, if I were to release a video game, I'd want people to like it because the game is actually amazing and fun and just holds good value. Not, oh, well, they're going to keep playing this game because it has all these exclusive items that they can't get if they don't continue to play the game, if they don't grind out these battle passes, if they don't buy these microtransactions. It's insane. And I will say, live service games used to be worse. There was a point in time where it was literally gambling, like straight up gambling, shamelessly. We're having supply drops in every video game. It was insanity. At a certain point, you could have an advantage on your opponent in like Call of Duty because you would get weapons and supply drops randomly generated, RNG. You could get weapons that are 10 times better than your opponents. So you literally have a game advantage over them, making their experience worse and yours better. Thankfully, we are reduced to cosmetics for the most part, but I just can't get behind the concept at all if I'm going to be truthful. But this is exactly why I only play older video games, and I could make an entire video on that and the old video games I like to play because truthfully, I'm just not that into the whole live service grinding your ass off type deal. Those days are behind me. I'm an old man. I'm settled down now, baby. Like, I can't be doing that kind of stuff. However, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Let me know your thoughts on live service video games in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that funky jazz. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.